the final boss of Don't Starve Together. How fast can you kill it? Wait, hold on. I need a stick so I can point at stuff. Stick or quiet. Now, to defeat our enemy, the final boss, we must start with learning its identity. So the identity of the final boss is up for debate. Usually people will agree it's either this guy, the Ancient Fuel Weavy Chibi, or this guy, the Celestial Champion. For the purposes of this video, Celestial Champion is going to be our target and the final boss. Celestial Champion has more requirements, more damage, and more health than Ancient Fuel Weaver, so that's why we're killing him. He's harder. Also, I've been calling him he, but I think it's an it/them. I don't know, let me know in the comments. Why am I only making this video now? Well, that requires a little smidge of explanation. Bear with me. To spawn Celestial Champion, you have to kill another boss called Crab King in a special condition where you have to plug a pearl into him. This pearl you get from a crab lady called Pearl. That's right, a crab lady called Pearl gives you a pearl, which is called Pearl's Pearl. Haha, yes. But getting Pearl's Pearl means you have to finish her quests, and up until a recent update, you had to use cactus flowers to finish this quest. Now, cactus flowers only spawn in summer, which is the last season of the entire year, so you'd have to wait an entire year just to even start the spawning sequence. But now, in a recent update, they just kind of like yeeted the cactus flower requirement out the window. So yeah, you're not hard locked to wait until summer anymore. Great. So that is the main gist of why I'm making the video now, because it's like possible to actually speedrun Celestial Champion. There will of course be lots of struggling and pain throughout the speedrun, other than the ones I've already mentioned. Like that we still need to rush the ruins and get back to the surface before day 11? But with the 3 collective brain cells of me and my Twitch chat, we theorized a way of speedrunning Celestial Champion, and I, of course, failed once, and then twice. And then 3 times, but the 4th time, I was successful. So sit back and enjoy my pain and suffering as I speedrun Celestial Champion, the final boss of Don't Starve Together. That's just a theory. A game sorry, This run is significantly shorter than an all-boss run, so it's going to be a lot easier for me to go into more detail about what we're doing and why we're doing it. So after generating the world with a medium caves and a medium overworld and classic resources, the run begins. So first, character selection. I'm going to choose WX78 because he has a bunch of circuits which provide a lot of utility, including speed, cold resistance, and boosting your max health, and basically just speed. Speed in a speed run, unsurprisingly, is very good. That's right, speed is back on the menu, baby. Firstly, we've scanned and captured our first bunny. We'll be using this to make a tier 1 speed circuit. This takes up all of my circuit slots, but it gives you 25% speed bonus. But don't worry, we'll be upgrading to a better speed circuit later on in the run. Right, I gotta keep an eye on the ocean. Yeah, it should be pretty, not that rare to actually spot a bottle off the coast, right? Yep, that's right, live commentary, Jakey. Finding a bottle this early would be very good, because after reading it, it reveals Pearl's location, and, you kind of need to know where Pearl is to actually do her quests. In my previous failed runs, it took me up to 3 days to find a bottle, so it would be a very big time save if I happened to spot one off the coast, and I could quickly go grab it with a grass boat. Anyway, I finally gathered enough bio data to make the first speed circuit. This will grant me 25% speed bonus on day 1, which is pretty huge for the quick exploration. I could cheat and do this, and then I could be like, oh look, a bottle over there, right? But I don't know. I don't think I'll do that because that's kind of cheating. Yep. So in all my speedruns, I never use aerial view to see more than you're meant to, because it's a pretty big advantage to be able to look really far into the distance. So yeah, no cheating. So you know how I said we'd grab a message in a bottle if we saw one? Unfortunately, we didn't find one, but we did find some driftwood. So we're going to quickly make a grass boat and grab that, because driftwood you can use to make a driftwood ore, which paddles you a whole lot faster than a wooden ore. And RNG might be evil to us later and not spawn us driftwood. So we're gonna grab this now so we can use it later. Next, we'll be doing the same thing as usual, searching for gold in the mosaic biome, getting harassed by a tourbird, committing willow mane on it to make it leave us alone, and then killing it because we need the meat for our handbat. Also, while we're running around, we're scanning everything possible with our little scanning robot, Jimmy, because we need 20 or so biodata for all the circuits we're gonna make. Then finally, we want to find pig houses in either the Pig King biome or basically any forest biome, since we need to kill spiders and we need to find the Moonstone forest at some point anyway, because we're gonna be transforming a Stark staff on day 11. Alchemy rush complete. We've made our hand bat, our football hat, and our lantern. Also collecting big meat for hand bats later, and then stealing a beefalo from its family because we're gonna need his help later. Oh my goodness, an evil tree. This is a pretty huge find. It's pretty rare that you don't get any evil trees. It is good that we found some because we do absolutely need 2 or 3 living logs to make all the staffs we're gonna make once we get to the ruins. Also in this run, we do seemingly need like a bottomless pit of silk. So we're gonna be killing spiders throughout the whole run to top up our silk supply for butterfly nets, fishing rods, bird traps, and a piggyback. Oh! Jimmy, where are you? Jimmy, it's happened. Beefalo, what are you doing? Jimmy, look! Jimmy! Oh my goodness, it happened. We found a rook. This is a very huge find because usually you wouldn't find a rook until you got to the ruins or found Ancient Guardian, but we found one on the surface. Hell yeah! Now, what does finding a rook do for us? Well, I can scan it to unlock the tier 2 speed circuit. So now I have triple speed on the surface once I make them, and it's unlocked by scanning the rook. Oh, but we don't have gears. Well, massacre time. Oh, I will save you, Beefalo. And the rook very kindly destroyed some of this marble for us, so we're gonna pick that up for pearl later. And if I was really smart, I would have also dug up 5 carpeted flooring for pearl later, but, you know, I'm not. Oh, wait, there's Dragonfly. We just spotted Dragonfly Desert, which is good because if we scan Dragonfly, she will give us 10 biodata and unlock the furnace circuit, which we're going to need later to ignore the winter cold. I know you're here, Chester. There he is. Welcome to the team, Chester. Let's go grab the pan flute. Holy moly, no shot there was a tree guard set piece in the Dragonfly Desert. This is also a very huge find because now we have more than enough living logs than we need for the entire run, so we don't need to kill or hunt down any mushrooms because each tree guard drops 6 living logs and there's like 4 or 5 of them here. We only need to kill like 1 or 2 of them. Now Dragonfly, do the big snooze and let me scan you. Using the pan flute like once or twice, it will give you enough time to scan Dragonfly and get some easy 10 biodata. And then using that biodata and some gears, we've made our 2nd and 3rd speed modules. Speed circuits, I mean. So far, so good. We have everything we need. So we're ready to find a base. I say base, but what I really mean is a mess of items where I'm going to put everything because we do not have time to make a nice base. We're just going to dump our stuff and keep moving. The location of the base doesn't matter too much because right now we don't know where all of the biomes we need are, including some of the sea biomes. So we kind of just want to be in the middle of the map, but also kind of close to the sea and close to a sinkhole. Before we leave for the ruins, we're going to plant all of the seeds we've been collecting to hopefully get a potato. I say hopefully, but if we don't get a potato, we lose because we need a potato for later. It took live commentary, Jakey, 8 minutes to find the ruins after finding the lichen. What an idiot. Anyway, once we found the ruins, ideally we find Ancient Guardian first. Unluckily, we didn't, but it's fine. We'll make ourselves a Thulsite medallion, which will tell us where Ancient Guardian is. Okay, he's in a different branch. Now, the reason we're killing Ancient Guardian first and not crafting anything first is because when you kill Ancient Guardian, he spawns a chest, which has a bunch of random ruins resources and gear inside of it. Which materials on gear? Well, that's left up to RNG. But it's safe to say that most of the stuff that he'll drop will be pretty useful to us. Also, he could give us a Lazy Explorer, which would give us a nice 25% speed bonus if we manage to get lucky and get the drop. Also, if we didn't find a rook on the surface, this would be the time that we'd be scanning a rook for the triple speed circuit or scanning Ancient Guardian because they both unlock the tier 2 speed circuit. But we found our boy on the surface, so we don't have to do that in the ruins. So here is our checklist of everything we need. Triple speed circuit, we already got that, baby. We need a construction amulet to make 2 Starcaller staffs, a deconstruction staff, preferably full or more Thulsite crowns for armor against Celestial Champion, 1 Magiluminescence, then 5 purple gems, 1 red gem, and a total of 8 other gems. For what reason? I'll explain later. And then also getting like 8 or so gears would be handy because then we don't have to really make food. We can just survive off of gears. Also, we need a few wires for gold, maybe some Thulsite walls that I'll explain why later. But anyway, we're about to slay Ancient Guardian. I wonder what he's gonna give us. Boys, pray that I get a Lazy Explorer. Oh my goodness. Of course, we actually got the Lazy Explorer. Wow, very cool. This is pretty huge because now we have a handheld speed bonus which gets multiplied onto the rest of our speed bonus. So we are zooming so fast, in fact, that live commentary Jakey starts singing Making My Way Downtown, walking fast. I forgot the lyrics. I need you because I miss you. There's no Faster. We also got a mag, gears, tool site, all this, which is also good. Gonna save us time on gathering resources. Oh, I've got no nightmare fuel. Yes, Shaky, embrace your inner caveman. Chug the raw meat to become insane. Genius. I love Terror Beaks. We do only need one deconstruction staff use for later, so we're gonna use the remaining 4 to actually duplicate Thule Sight and Nightmare Fuel because, you know, I ran out of Nightmare Fuel. Using a construction amulet, it costs half the amount to make a Thule Sight suit. Then a deconstruction staff gives us back the full ingredients for making it, so it effectively duplicates Nightmare Fuel and Thule Sight. After crafting what we need, we make our 4 Thule Sight crowns, but we don't want to overspend, because we will need every gem that we have spare for later, not just the purple ones. We will discuss why later. On the way out, we're gonna mine rocks to get ourselves 4 fossils to block the moonstone, but you know, I only got 1 fossil. Goodness gracious, boys, it's day 10 and I don't have the fossils yet. Yeah, I gotta come back down here, lickety split. We're back on the surface and one of our seeds grew into a potato. Perfect. Now we must get ready for the moonstone event, and the first thing to do is jump back into the caves, because like I said, we need 4 fossils, not 1. Utilizing my brand new Lazy Explorer, we make our way to some spider nests and mine them because they guaranteed drop 1 or 2 fossils per one. Now we crafted 20 Thule Sight walls to block the moonstone so that enemies can't get to it, and then we're going to put fossils around the front so that the enemies again are blocked. And to be efficient, while we wait for the moonstone event to start, we're going to do some gathering ready for Pearl's quests, like collecting butterflies and stuff. It's the full moon. We could upgrade Chester if we wanted to, but I didn't really have the spare nightmare fuel. During the moonstone event, the pigs and hounds kept attacking the walls, but it's fine. I pushed them behind the fossils, then they stopped attacking the walls. Fine, you can eat the corner of the wall, but that's it. You cannot eat anything else. Stop, idiot. And then, Mooncaller staff acquired. Gold. Next, we're making a boat, rotting some things, gathering some things for Pearl's quest, before deconstructing the Mooncrawler staff to get ourselves the iridescent gem, which we will use to activate the archives. Speaking of the archives, it's time to go find them. So, heading down to the caves, oh my goodness, we found Hutch Gaming. We're not going to use Hutch at all, I just thought it was cool that we found him. We found the blue mushroom biome, which means we're very close to the lunar grotto biome, which means we're close to the archives. So once we find the archives, we're gonna mine our way through the ronks, plug in the iridescent gem to activate the archives, then grab the knowledge and unlock it with the very high IQ puzzle. That definitely isn't just a memory game. This unlocks the astral detector blueprint, and we're gonna mine a statue in the archives to get ourselves the moon rock and the Thule Sight required to make the astral detector. We'll need this for finding the lunar altars later. And at this point, if I didn't have enough living logs, I would kill some mushrooms to make sure I have enough living logs, but we have tree guards on the surface, so it's okay. Back on the surface, we're going to slay a tree guard for 6 entire living logs. Then we're going to scan Dragonfly again for 10 more biodata, and then we're going to hit the rest of the tree guards, because the idea was I was going to lead them to the swamp and then pan flute them to de-aggro them. Then they would passively attack and kill tentacles in the swamp. That way, they would get me tentacle spots without me having to do anything. This didn't work because they didn't follow me for some reason, so I don't know, sad. With the Nightmare Fuel, Purple Gem, and Living Logs, we've made ourselves the Shadow Manipulator. And then, with the extra purple gems we have, we're going to make ourselves 2 telelocator staffs. We're going to use these staffs to force it to rain to complete one of Pearl's quests. Finally, it is time to head on to the ocean. Since we didn't find a bottle in the early days, that's kind of the first thing we're looking for. But before we found a bottle, we did find cookie cutters. So we're going to kill them, gather some cookie cutter shells, because we do need 10 of those. Yes, you do need a lot of random hard to get junk to complete Pearl's quest. It's kind of annoying. And then... 2 bottles in a row! This is huge. Because we found 1 bottle, that reveals Pearl's location, and we need to use that bottle to buy a pinch and winch blueprint from her. But the second bottle allows us to buy a fishing lure from her so that we can catch heavy fish for one of her other tasks that I'll explain later. Now, after revealing Pearl's location, she's on the other side of the world, so we gotta run to that side of the world, put down a new boat, paddle ourselves over to her abode. We're gonna place a lightning rod on the boat because we're about to summon a storm. But not before drying a copious amount of kelp, some fantastic flowers, and planting and fertilizing some bountiful berry bushes. Man, I am reaching for these alliterations. Pearl, give me the pinch and winch blueprint now. But now, I'm going to devastate her newly acquired garden, and by picking 6 of the flowers to make ourselves a pretty parasol. This works as a kind of pseudo umbrella, and that's because the actual umbrella I made is for me. Because if WX gets too wet, it's basically game over. You start losing health, you start getting staggered from the wet damage, and it deactivates all of my circuits, so I lose lose my speed. Speaking of rain, it's time to force it to rain. So using the telelocator staff on anything, birds, shadow creatures, not even Chester is safe from the wrath of the telelocator staff. But we probably shouldn't use it on Pearl because we need to give her the umbrella, so we can't just like teleport her somewhere else. So after using 1.5 telelocator staffs, it starts raining when we give Pearl the pretty parasol. Each time you use the telelocator staff, it increases the moisture of the world, and once the moisture hits a certain threshold, it rains. So that's how that works. Bam! Jobs are good and task done. Since we're not waiting until spring, we're limited on the amount of tasks that we actually have access to. And even if we do everything perfectly, we still have to do one fishing task. Now luckily for us, it is only one fishing task because Pearl has 2 fishing tasks. One is but the second one is awful. The first pretty easy task is just to give Pearl 5 heavy fish. Now heavy fish have a 20 to 30% chance to spawn in a fish shoal, which can spawn around you every 60 seconds. So relatively common. But how do I know which fish is heavy? Well, I'm glad you asked. You either make a little device to weigh them, or you can just give them to Pearl and depending on what she says, you can tell if it's heavy or not. Or every few times you do a task for Pearl, she will give you a little bundle of thanks. And in this bundle of thanks, you have an RNG chance of getting a heavyweight lure. A heavyweight lure is used for fishing, and it only attracts heavy fish. Please give me a heavyweight lure. Oh, it actually gave me a heavyweight lure. Oh my goodness. Yes, I actually got the heavyweight lure on the first bundle of thanks. Pretty lucky. Because we got this lure so early, we can start just catching fish passively as we're running around so that we're not going to be waiting on the heavy fish task later on. Now, you might notice the rain is getting pretty heavy, and this is why we brought the umbrella for ourselves. Since an umbrella by itself only provides about 80% rain protection, but with a miner hat or football helmet, that also bumps that up to above 100% rain protection, meaning we will not get wet. Because like I said, being wet as WX is a big no-no. I'm freezing, emergency star coolers to warm up. Now, we had a science machine pre-crafted, so we're going to use that to make a pitchfork to quickly grab 5 cartridge flooring from here where we were earlier for Pearl's house. I also slaughtered a clockwork bishop and knight, not for the purple gem, but for the extra gears, because since gears provide sanity, health, and hunger for WX, this is basically a replacement for food, and it kind of just speeds up the process so I don't have to restore my sanity using cactus before like a crab king fight or something. Meteors are falling in the mosaic biome. This reminds me of the very last piece of RNG that I have no control over, so even if I do things right or wrong, this RNG can mess me up, because the last item you need to spawn Celestial Champion is the Celestial Orb. This orb spawns as a strange looking rock from a meteor shower, and it isn't guaranteed to spawn until like day 60, so it just might not spawn and the run is over, so I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Another note is like, damn, my base is really far away from Lunar Island and Pearl, so I have to run to like the other side of the map every time to go back to the base. Back at the base, we fed the potato to the bird to get ourselves a potato seed. We're now going to plant this potato seed to get ourselves a fresh potato in a few days, because then we'll be needing it pretty soon after. Oh, hey, a school of fishies. Hey, buddies. Are any of you chonky? I mean heavy? Oh, one was. Nice. And as you can see, only him was attracted to the lure, and I caught him heavy fish 1 of 5 collected. As for hunger, we're trying to save as much time as possible, so other than using the gears, we're going to be cooking monster meat. Even though this damages our sanity and health, we'll restore our hunger with monster meat, then use the gear to restore our sanity and health, because we don't want to waste time on gathering actual food or using crockpot dishes. Winter is approaching, lads, so I have to unplug 2 of my speed circuits, unfortunately, to make room for the 3-pronged heat circuit, which stops us from freezing in winter, as long as I'm like not wet or anything. It keeps our temperature at 0 or above, so you might see occasionally that my screen starts freezing, but I don't take damage, and that's because the circuit keeps me at 0 degrees. But unplugging those 2 speed circuits means my speed bonus from my circuits go from 50% to 25%. Now, since the heat circuit only takes up 1, 2, 3 slots, we have 1 more slot left, which we're just gonna put a max health boosting circuit into, so it's harder for us to die. The heavy fish we caught is in Spain without the S, so we're gonna make a tin fishing bin to dump him into. When fish are in the tin fishing bin, their health slowly gets restored, so I have basically more time before they die so that I can give them to Pearl, because Pearl doesn't accept dead fish. Heavy fish 2 of 5 acquired. Slaying some beefalo during the night for meat for ham bats later. We also need beefalo fur to make a saddle to use with our own beefalo to move the altar pieces later, and we are strategically staying close to the water so that fish might spawn while we're killing the beefalo. Chug the monster meat, WX. Chug it. Using the last of my second telelocator staff, I tried to make it snow, but it didn't snow, which is unfortunate because now I have to wait for it to naturally snow, but we shouldn't have to wait that long, right? So while we wait, let's complete some other tasks like upgrading Pearl's house, catching more fish, and giving them to Pearl, and then pulling garbage from the ocean. Odd little bug here. After giving Pearl a heavy fish, she kind of just stands there, looking out into the distance, menacingly. This is actually a helpful bug because if it started snowing during the night, she's still outside, so I could give her the vest at night, which you normally wouldn't be able to do because during dusk and night, she goes back to her house, so you can't interact with her. Oh, it's snowing, it's snowing, it's snowing! Oh my goodness, the snow has started falling, but I am a fool. I have only 2 tasks left, and as soon as the snow started falling, a bunch of fish spawned behind me, which, unknowingly to me, had 2 heavy fish in it, which is the only 2 heavy fish I need to finish that task. I should have caught these fish first before going back to Pearl to avoid what's about to happen next. Here's 2. Oh, come on, please. Please, 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 please. Just grab. No, it's evening. She won't give me the pearl. Oh, but I did all the tasks. Darn it. I did complete both of the tasks, but because I completed them right as dusk started, Pearl won't give me her pearl. She only gives you the pearl during daytime. So what I should have done is I should have not done 2 trips back to Pearl's Island. I should have stayed by the fish, caught the 2 heavy fish, then did 1 trip back to Pearl to give her the coat and the 2 heavy fish. Then I would have got Pearl's pearl on day 22. But it's okay. We have to wait for day 23 to get the pearl now. But like I said, it's fine. We're just gonna decimate her island because we need lots of wood for later anyway. So we're just gonna chop down all of her trees and such. Also, chopping down these loon trees gives you these loony butterflies, which restore your sanity, which actually saves me a little bit of time from collecting cactus later or eating gears to restore my sanity before the Crab King fight. Cough up the pearl. Yeah, say whatever, give me the pearl. It's so nice to see you, dearie. Just don't give me a panic attack, just give me the pearl. Yes. Goodbye. Finally, Pearl's pearl acquired on day 23. Now, it is time to prepare for Crab King. But first, we need to find Crab King, which means using the astral detector to point us towards the astral altars on the mainland, dig them up, and then use the B-flow to bring them to a boat, and then we'll head towards Lunar Island, which the astral detector will also point us towards. Then mine out the altar pieces on Lunar Island, watch our salamander absolutely decimate a nest of pengals. Oh, salamander is deadly. Careful, pengals. And then we need to find a triangle of these celestial fissures. You need a triangle to put all of the 3 altar piece sets in a triangle to spawn celestial champion. It has to be a triangle, otherwise it doesn't work, okay? Oh my goodness, the salamander killed them all! What the? Oh my goodness. Whew. But we only have 2 sets of altars right now. The 3rd one is being kept captive by Crab King. So once we've mined all the altar pieces out, the astral detector will then point us towards Crab King, and we have found him. Haha. Now the Crab King preparation begins. Hello, Narwhal, excuse me. Thank you. Now, we will not be fighting Crab King ourselves, so we do not need weather panes. Instead, we will be killing him using, bees. More specifically, bee mines. So during the Crab King fight, he only ever tries to sink your boats, but bees can't be sunk. Even though if I learned anything in life, it's that the bee movie taught me that God told the bees that they're not allowed to fly because they're too fat or something, but then the bees flew anyway? I might be misremembering. So anyway, the bees will do all the damage and all we have to do is sit back, relax, and avoid the geyser attacks. But wait, bees don't come out in winter, so how are we gonna get them out to capture them to put in the bee mines? How else do you get people to leave their homes? Oh, I know. You tell them there's a pandemic. Sorry, no, just kidding. You set it on fire. That's right. We're gonna torch their houses to force out non-killer bees to capture them for the bee mines. If you just attacked the bee nests, you'd only get killer bees, which you can't use to make bee mines. Next, if you remember, we collected a variety of gems from the ruins. These gems are for Crab King. Using gems that aren't purple gems for Crab King means we save the purple gems for the telelocator staffs, which means we need less purple gems from the ruins, saving us on gathering time. Now back up, what do these gems do? Well, to spawn Crab King, you have to plug in 9 gems in total. The first gem will be Pearl's Pearl, because without this, he won't drop the celestial altar that we need. The remaining 8 can be any of the other gems, but depending on which gem you plug into him, it will buff a different aspect of him. Blue increases his freeze range and resistance. Purple increases the amount of geysers he uses to attack you. Red gems simply increase his health. Yellow decreases his casting time for his geyser and freeze attack. Green gem increases the amount of claws that he summons and the amount of HP those claws have. And finally, orange gems increases the amount he heals and the amount of hits you have to do before breaking his rocks to stop him from healing. After some testing with 1 pearl and 8 of every gem, using the bee method with our 10 bee mines, so that's 40 bees in total, you can basically use any gem you want. because they don't affect the fight that much. Now, to aggro our bee mines onto Crab King, they actually have to be close to him when he spawns, and I can't fit that many bee mines on the front of the boat. So we made this ore thing that rotates the boat earlier. So once you activate it, it rotates the boat either clockwise or anti-clockwise. So this allows us to plant bee mines all around the edge of the boat, then right before we spawn Crab King, we just start rotating the boat and it will activate all the bee mines. So as soon as the fight starts, we're going to activate the rotating device to rotate the boat, and then right as Crab King starts his first geyser attack, we're going to place down a grass boat. This is smaller and faster than wooden boats, and we're going to sail about 4.5 to 5 tiles away from Crab King. This way, like I said, he'll only target us with the geyser attack and not use the freeze attack. And when he starts initiating the geyser attack, all you have to do is paddle 5 or 6 times to the left or right to avoid it. Healing are we? I don't think so. Once the bees have done enough damage, the claws will spawn, which shouldn't come after you, but if they do, you just have to paddle a little bit faster to make sure they don't grab onto you. If they do grab onto you, don't worry about it, because we can just plant down the spare boat we made in case we need to escape. That's basically the entire fight. When Crab King tries to heal, the bees will say no, because they're attacking him like a lot of times per second. Let's go through how they affect the fight and what the limit is for each gem for this speedrun. So green gem, we'll be avoiding the claws, and the claws don't attack the bees, so you can put in as many green gems as you want. Purple gems, this increases the amount of geysers he uses to attack you, and again, we'll be dodging these, so you can use as many as you want, but we will probably be using them to make telelocator staff, so we might not have that many left over. Now, blue gems are a bit tricky because it increases his freeze range. Now, Crab King will always be targeting us with his geyser attacks, and ideally will stay out of range of this freeze attack, therefore he will never do it. But if we go too far away, he'll target the bees and then use his freeze attack. And with 8 blue gems, the maximum you can put into him with a pearl, his freeze range goes to just over 4 tiles, which means you have to stay about 4.5 to 5 tiles away from him, otherwise he'll do the freeze attack. It's not the end of the world if he does the freeze attack, but he might heal and it will set you back a little bit. So because of this, I'm only going to socket a maximum of 6 blue gems into him. Now for the red gem limit, we're going to set this to 2, because if you put in 8 red gems, he has like 90,000 health or something, so the fight will take like 4 or 5 times longer. Now the orange gem limit, we're going to set to 8, because if we have 40 bees attacking Crab King, that's a lot of attacks, and they'll almost always break his rocks when he tries to heal. Maybe in an entire fight, he'll get 1 or 2 heals in, but it's not the end of the world. It'll just set you back like 20 seconds. So you can have as many orange gems as you want. And lastly, probably the most deadly gem in this scenario is the yellow gem. This reduces his casting time for his geyser and freeze attack. And we're avoiding the freeze attack, but we have to dodge the geyser attack. So having 8 yellow gems makes it really hard to dodge the geyser attack unless your boat is already moving. So for this reason, the maximum amount of yellow gems we'll plug into him is 6. So slowly but surely, the bees will defeat Crab King. Truly a death by 1,000 cuts. Oh, and down he goes. Goodbye, Crab Kong. Chester and the buffalo are coming to say hello. I care about not the gems. I care about the drop. Where are my gears? There they are. Gears. With the Crab King defeated, we have to just place our pinch and winch that we pre-crafted earlier, and Chester and the Beefalo boat are gonna waddle on over to Lunar Island to plant this lunar altar to activate the moonstorms. Okay, cool. At this point in the run, I knew I was going to finish either at the end of winter or the start of spring, so I was debating whether I needed to make a raincoat or not. Yes! I decided to go for the safer option and actually make the raincoat because, you know, Deerclops didn't spawn yet. Although I would prefer a raincoat over the umbrella, since I can wear a raincoat and then have Thulsite crowns on at the same time for armor. Oh, it's Wagstaff! What's up, gamer? You, of course. Yes, it's me. Quick, throw me those, yes. Now, there is one problem with moonstorms. They inhibit your ability to move. This is where the potato comes in, and the moonglass that we stole from Pearl's Island. We can combine these two things to make ash struggles, which Wagstaff gives us the blueprint for. Ash struggles allow you to walk around in the lunar storm without any speed detriment, and you can like actually see. But another problem, we need to gather infused moon shards to spawn Celestial Champion. These moon shards spoil pretty fast, and we do not have bundling wrap to stop them from spoiling. We have to complete 3 moonstorm events in total. To combat the spoiling effect of the infused moon shards, we'll complete 2 of the events. Then during the 3rd one and after, that's when we'll start mining the infused moon shards. That way, they won't spoil as fast. It's done. Oh, I avoided the zap last second. So we complete 2 of the 3 events to acquire 2 restrained static and some moon gleams, which we need 15 of. Then during the 3rd event, we're going to start mining those infused moon shards. But before the 3rd event, we need to make sure that everything is in order to spawn Celestial Champion as soon as we have those moon shards. So we gotta go collect our armor, kill a tree guard for the living logs to make 4 dark swords for phase 2 and 3 of Celestial Champion, and then we have to go find the Celestial Orb and hope that it spawned. Like I said, this thing isn't guaranteed to spawn until day 60, so I am clenching real hard hoping that it actually spawned. I want to check the meteor part for the, because I need the orb first. So that, oh, it's actually here. I'm so happy. Oh my goodness. There's no way. Oh my goodness, it's the perfect run. Hell yeah, brother. I might have to kill these 2 birds. That's right, boys. It did actually spawn in our 2nd meteor biome. And again, if it hadn't have spawned, the run's over because we need it to spawn Celestial Champion. So we would have to just wait there and wait for it to spawn. We start the 3rd event. During this 3rd event, we couldn't mine all the infused moon glass I needed because there were like 2 or 3 tool bird spawns too close to us, which kept aggroing me and nearly killed me. It's fine. We just have to complete the 3rd event, then go to the 4th event to just mine infused moon shards. About 3 or 4 minutes later, we have the 30 moon shards. It's race time, baby. We have the moon gleams, we have the restrained static, and we have the 30 infused moon glass. We gotta get there fast. Now grab our crowns, our gears for food, and the 4 dark swords. And I also have a hand bat for phase 1 of Celestial Champion, because I only have enough dark swords for phase 2 and 3. And then we book it to Lunar Island, and may the spawning of Celestial Champion commence. So this is where skill actually kinda matters. You can 100% kill Celestial Champion all 3 phases without taking any damage. Buffalo, why do you do that? But I am not cool enough for that. Hence, we have armor. Also, this is the only part of the run where having a speed bonus of more than 25% is actually a downside, since Celestial Champion's movement speed will be scaled based on your movement speed, with a starting minimum of 25%. So anything over 25%, you're both just going to be moving as fast as each other, basically giving you less time to think. So that's why we're not plugging in the other speed circuits. Celestial Champion phase 1 is relatively not that dangerous. His attacks hit hard, but they're pretty slow and pretty easy to dodge, so he's not really much of a problem. That's why we're using a hand bat on him. The only thing that is potentially dangerous on this phase and the rest of the phases is the fact that we have no way to decrease our lunacy. Now, lunacy is the opposite of sanity. It's the opposite in that you want it to be empty and not full, because when it's full, gestalt will start hitting you, and when a gestalt hits you, it makes you drowsy, which slows down your movement speed and obviously makes you vulnerable because you can't move as fast. And if you get hit by multiple gestalts in quick succession, you get put to sleep, which is not ideal because then the boss gets a bunch of free hits on you. So phase 1 is down. Now, like I said, we have enough dark swords to take out phase 2 and 3, so we're ditching the hand bat. We're using the dark swords now, baby. Now, phase 2's attacks require better prediction and timing. His first attack is his spinning attack. This is the attack that moves at 25% movement speed and only goes faster depending on how fast you're moving. So he'll just continuously spin towards you, and if you get caught up in this attack, it does a whole lot of damage. But it's alright, as soon as he starts the very subtle twisting animation, you just run away in a straight line and you'll be fine. The next attack is where Celestial Champion slams the ground 3 times for heavy damage, and every time he does slam the ground, it summons a big row of gestalts, which also do heavy damage. So to avoid this, you run away from Celestial Champion and then go in a semicircle around him. That will avoid all the gestalts. Next, he plunges his leg into the ground, which causes damage if I'm too close. So I have to step back, but then I have to not step back too far because immediately after, a wall of glass shards will erupt from the ground and cause damage if I'm standing on top of them. So I have to step back, then quickly get back towards Celestial Champion before the walls swarm. And lastly, Celestial Champion phase 2 has a generic melee attack, which is kind of fast and he just kind of slaps the ground. And you have to kind of predict when it's coming because it is pretty fast, but you can predict it by kind of guessing how long it's been since he last did it. Ah, it's raining. Good. Let's see, my preparations aren't in vain. Yeah, it'll be early day 37 because phase 3 takes the longest. I'll try pushing. Phase 3 has has started. This is the most deadly phase by far. You will see why. Firstly, he summons a bunch of glass pillars. These glass pillars emit light. Haha, idiot. Hit all of his own pillars. If you get hit by this light, it makes you become drowsy or can put you to sleep, although they do intermittently deactivate for a short period. Luckily for us, we can use Celestial Champion's next 2 attacks to destroy these pillars. These 2 attacks are his laser attacks, and the only difference between them is one gets fired out vertically, one gets fired out horizontally. Either way, to dodge both of these right before he fires them out, you just gotta step back diagonally a little bit and bam, you dodged them. Good job. Because these laser attacks destroy the pillars, we're gonna be trying to bait Celestial Champion into hitting his own pillars with his laser attack. Next is a Gestalt attack. This is where Celestial Champion will plunge into the ground doing continuous melee damage if you're too close and summoning a bunch of greater and smaller Gestalts. The greater Gestalts do massive damage. The smaller Gestalts make you drowsy so you move slower. This attack is pretty easy to avoid as long as you realize what he's doing fast. You just gotta run in a straight line outside of the blue circle to deactivate the attack. And lastly is a generic melee attack where he plunges into the ground and does 2 lots of damage, and all you gotta do is step back. This one's pretty easy to dodge. So 2 big dangers in this phase. 1, if you get hit by all 3 lasers twice, that's a ton of damage and will eat through my armor very quickly, so I gotta try to avoid the laser attacks. And of course the other big danger is the danger from the earlier phases, the fact that my lunacy is maxed out. So if I get tagged by a Gestalt, I become a whole lot slower, which is not good. I'll be taking so much damage. Oh! You see that? Double laser! I dodged both though. So with that being said, let us watch and see if I defeat the Celestial Champion. I mean, obviously I do, I'm making this video. Celestial Champion targets you with his lasers like right before he rips them out. So you just step back a little bit. Starting to get sloppy, good thing I have crowns. Yes, Salamander, help. Yes, Salamander. Woo, he does 30 damage, huge. Right, he's went to sleep. No, Salamander, wake up. Do a laser attack. Very good. Oh, it didn't destroy any pillars. Help me, Salamander. Yes. Jake cheated. He let a Salamander help. Oh my goodness, he tanks so much. What the heal? Oh, okay, he's gonna die now. Yeah, even a Salamander can't tank that. Speed. Surely we got him. Surely we got him. Idiot! What's that? 37. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6.5 segments? I don't know. I'll be able to tell in the video. 37 days, 6.5 segments. We did it, boys. Celestial Champion speedrun completed on day 37 at 6.25 segments, which is a grand total in-game time of 4 hours, 59 minutes and 7 seconds ish. Very cool. Now, do I think this run could be done faster? Yes. In fact, Cat Person did a run like this, but with Wolfgang, and he also got a good time. How good was the time? I don't know, you have to go watch his video to find out. Link in the description. Now, if I get a run faster than this run that I just did, I will post it, but I want it to be significantly faster. I'm talking a sub day 36 run, which means killing Celestial Champion before the first spring. I think it's possible with good RNG and good practice, but we'll see if I get to accomplish that or not. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching. Let me know how you like this style of me post-commentating in front of a green screen. I think it's funny and I enjoyed doing it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it too. So leave a like, a comment, maybe even a share. And hopefully, even if you don't play Don't Starve, you still had fun watching this video. I tried to make it so that even if you don't play the game, you still kind of understand what's going on. So hopefully I achieved that. Maxwell's rework is currently in beta. Of course, it goes into beta right after I did my Maxwell All Boss speedrun. Oops. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time, friendos. Hell yeah, brother! Woo! Chester! Look, I'm not even gonna die to darkness, I'm just that good. Oh, I'm so proud. Chester, look, come, look what I did, Chester. You'll be so proud. Come here, Chester. I killed the Celestial Chonkian. Are you proud of me? I think Chester is proud. Look, Chester, a crown for your robot overlord.